Hello, hello everybody. This is Zoe. Anyway, you guys, it's been a while. Unfortunately, I haven't been making as many videos as I would like. Watch out, Zoe. I'm trying to sit down here. It has been summer, which means work kicks my butt. I work outside in the heat. And I have now, all the tanks have still got their water changes and they've all get fed every day, but the tanks have been, and they're in a state of neglect. The pond, I'll show you a picture right here. This is what it looked like before it started, and I thought, well, I need to start making videos. So there's that. As you can see, the surface could barely even be seen, covered in duckweed. And what wasn't covered in duckweed, I cleared out, already emptied and rinsed out, but that 5-gallon bucket was full of hair algae. There's more hair algae in there than water, I think. But you can tell it's doing good. It's just in a state of disrepair. I did see a bunch of baby plecos in here, and the plecos in here hadn't been spawning for a while, so we got plecos spawning. I'm gonna have to trim the impatiens again. I cut them all the way down to like 2-inch stubble, and that's what happens. Not too long later. Some of these plants are ruined by being completely consumed with hair algae. But the reason I'm starting here with the pond is I want to get this cleaned out, because it's not just the pond that's been neglected as far as keeping the plants trimmed and all that fun stuff. It's everything. So I want to get this one cleared out first. And then I'm going to replant this. These slower growing plants, they just don't work in here. They need fast growing plants. And I probably need to fertilize it. Because I think what is going on is these impatiens are just stripping everything out of the water. And we're having nutrient deficiencies, of which I do not know. But it's making the algae go crazy. So I'll check in every now and then in my progress here. I've already got a bunch of the duckweed out, but I like to keep some of the mermaid weed, but mermaid weed seems to be a hair algae magnet. I'm going to load this thing up with Adwegia like it used to be, and see if that can combat the algae a little bit. All the moss, except for a little bit right there on the corner, is completely consumed with hair algae. So I want to try to do some plant trimming, turn this back into like a plant farm type of thing going on, and try to stay on top of things better here. But you know how life is. I mean, 3 kids. It's been travel ball just now ended. So that'll give me a lot more time. And just work kicks my butt in the summertime, to be honest. And I'm tired. I've been coming home on the weekends and sleeping 12 hours and just being worthless. Planting my big fat butt in the chair. So now, unless I'm running kids, so it takes almost 6 to 8 hours for me to do all my water changes. So that's been getting done, and they've been getting fed every night. So while it looks bad, the tanks are still completely healthy. The fish are still doing great. I just need to get on top of the trimming plants, taking care of algae, colon, shrimp. That's the stuff I've fallen behind on a little bit. And so that'll get remedied this weekend. And unfortunately, I ended up with an unexpected week off of work this week. A death in the family. My uncle passed away, and the guy I work with every day is my cousin, and so it's his dad. So I'm not going to be working this week. So the first 2 days I just kind of vegged out in front of the TV, and I was sitting here tired of looking at this. I've been telling myself I need to get my butt back in gear, getting things going again. So here we go. Like I said, I'll check in from time to time on my progress, but we'll see how this goes. Because I'm not just doing this one, I'm doing this one, getting everything out, and then trimming all the plants I got going on and all these other tanks, and turn it back into fast plant growing jungle is what I'm going to do. So see if we can't get this going. Okay, so we've got most of the duckweed out. I need to clean out the sponges because I'm sucking out some of the water to get the duckweed out. I have discovered that the sponges need cleared because when that pump starts cavitating like that, and not enough water flowing into the pump, so it's getting some air in there, and that ain't good. So we're going to try to remedy that while we do. I will probably do that when I do water changes on Friday. I'll probably just put some more water in here, top it off to keep that pump from cavitating a little bit. But it's all stirred up, mucked up. You can see the Plucko. I don't see any of the baby Pluckos out and about that I was seeing the other day. Who knows? But I was seeing I saw several of them. Oh no, I don't see any of them. Maybe they're hiding in caves. Lots of little baby guppies have been making it with all the algae growing and the plants going out of control. So here's what I'm thinking. These are the plants I've salvaged that were not completely consumed in hair algae that were in there. The rest of them just got pitched. There's a few patches of moss left that weren't completely consumed in hair algae, so I left those in there. But there's definitely, these Pluckos are definitely in their caves. I don't know, I saw several brown and albino ones. It's good to see there's a lot more shrimp in here than there was. The shrimp are starting to repopulate since I've redone the filter. So that's good. All the fish look pretty much healthy. I don't see too many things to worry about. Lots of interesting, pretty little mixes going around. So, alright, so all that's left is the replant. Let's see, we got the plants in there, but I'm going to stuff this thing full of plants. I think I'm even going to seed some val in here, and eventually the val will take over, because I think that will look pretty cool. And it'll be good for all the guppies to have for the fry. And I've got lots of val. Start farming val in here on the where the light ain't as bright. Then here in the middle, do more of the fast growing stem plants with the high light. And then I'm going to try fertilizing. And then lastly, we've got to trim these impatiens. But they are looking really good. Now I did notice after I trimmed them they didn't flower as much, but once they got tall, they started flowering again. So that's something that's different. Hate to see over here starting to get low light, so they're going to be problems. So unless I want to kill everything except for the ones right here in front of the light, I'm going to have to chop the rest of them down. But it's looking good. Got all the hair algae out. Just got to replant, and we'll see how it ends up turning out. First, I'll show you some of the plants I'm going to put in here. Some of the overgrown, remember, all these tanks are way bad overgrown. So I'm definitely going to be putting a bunch of this Ludwigia. Just a few stems in each corner, and look what it's done. And then I think from over here, I got some tanks in here that are completely screwed. Got some of this. Oh, I'm having a brain fart. Yeah. That's got some hair algae on it. Yeah. Got some hair algae problems going on in these tanks lately. But oh man, I feel like an idiot. I can't think of the name of this plant. We got some tanks that are real bad. It's in here too. Wow. Anyway, I'm drawing a blank. I know it. I have tons of it. It's not Ludwigia. That's why I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, we've got Val for days in here, so there won't be no problem picking the Val out. Because there's plenty of Val, that's for sure. There's a new little baby Pleco. Look at that guy. Baby super red. Alright. Time to get busy. Oh yeah, my brain fart. I couldn't think of Rotala. Duh. So, this is what we've done. Trimmed out a whole bunch of Ludwigia. Got plenty. I'm just going to let this become a Ludwigia forest. Patch over there. And all I ended up saving that was in here was the mermaid weed, because that's kind of hard to get a hold of. And it had a bunch of hair algae on it still. Even though it didn't look bad. You got up close. So they're getting a peroxide dip. Way too strong for the fish and snails, but that's why it's in this little bucket by itself. Oh, and here's something else. All of that Ludwigia come out of here, and apparently there's a whole bunch of snails living in it, because as soon as I pulled it up out of the water, just a whole freaking cloud of shrimp just came pouring out of them. You know, I just clipped them all at the same length and then pulled them all out. But look how many shrimp are in here. Holy crap. That's crazy. And we'll talk about that some other time, that plant there. That's another cool thing. Okay. So, all that's left now is to try to clear out some of this Val to put in the pond. Hopefully it does good. Hopefully it does good. Okay, back at it. Alright, and this is what I've ended up doing. This is what we've ended up doing here. Lots of the Ludwigia wrappings. Got most algae out. There's still some stuck on the sides, but the mermaid weed I wanted to try to keep going, and it's worse for getting the algae, and I put it underneath the brightest light, but when you keep it under bright light it gets really red and it's really cool looking. So I'm gonna dose some fertilizers and have to be on it with the peroxide on this for a while until it gets itself balanced out. Then I'm gonna trim that, but I don't think I'm gonna do that just yet. Maybe sometime this weekend, but I didn't feel like doing that yet. And let me tell you, that planting that much val on a tank or in a stock tank sitting on the floor is not good for my old fat back. That's a lot of val, and it don't even look like all I did. The val I got was right here. Started where that little pleco super red's at, and coming all the way up across the glass. Yeah, we have a wrong shrimp. Somehow during a water change, a blue jelly ended up in here, and these are supposed to be yellow shrimp. So I'll be getting on top of that. But some of the oldest, biggest are getting bristles. So hopefully some of these females. Yeah, I'm sorry to get sidetracked, but my super reds, I started off with five juveniles, and ended up growing up to be 4 females and a girl. And now their first spawn is just reaching sexual maturity. They're probably, I think they was born in January, so 9-10 months. So it's exciting. Okay, sorry for the little sidetrack, but that's where the val come from. And that val goes a long way when you dig it up. So this is my first video in a while. I've been tired and busy, but getting things back in order after being really busy all summer. Pond is done. All the trimming I wanted to do on here is done. All the shrimp have gone crazy. I ripped out all that Ludwigia. So that tank's done. Now we have, so a couple tanks down. We have this guy here. Guppy grass is taking over. This tank here. Ludwigia, duckweed, and moss have completely taken over in that. Duckweed is real bad. We have my favorite, guppy grass and duckweed. That'll be a real fun one. I redid that tank about a month ago. I didn't make a video about it, but I redid it. Needs a little bit of, need to start putting some H2O2 in there before it goes downhill, but that's what I got left before I go back to work Monday. So I'm sure there'll be something about it on the video the next few days. So thank you all for watching. Bye.